Hiya, I'm Pimmie, and today I want to talk a bit about a dye experiment that I'm doing. And I am dyeing with natural dye stuff because I want to try to replicate a historical color that was made with a dye stuff that I can't get anymore. Which is Polish Cochenille or Armenian Cochenille. We don't really know which of the two it is. And those are different red dyes that were available and used from the Iron Age on. Until late medieval times, when after the world travels and discovery of South America and the Cochenille bugs living on cacti there. Then those would then the South American Cochenille that was discovered gave a lot more dye and was easier to harvest, so that was brought back to Europe and used instead of the local red dyes, the local Cochenille bugs that were used up to that moment. And I can't get hold of the European Cochenille anymore. It might be available, but even if I can still order it and have it shipped here, I doubt I can afford it. But since we're trying to replicate an Iron Age dress, we want that was dyed with either Polish or Armenian Cochenille. We want to get the color as close as possible in the replicated dress, and I'll show you the differences between the European Cochenille and the South American Cochenille. What I have been able to find of the colors, let's see, this is a picture of a cloak, a beautiful cape with gold, it's probably silk, but the red is from Armenian Cochenille, and this one is Polish Cochenille, and you can see that in both this one and the other, it's a really brilliant, bright red, a glowing, deep red, and it's said to be the crimson. And if you look at what South American Cochenille gives, and you get this color, and that is a really beautiful deep pink fuchsia fuchsia from the first dye bath, and the second dye bath picks up more the bluish tones in the dye, and gives you more of a purple. The two next to each other, first dye bath, second dye bath. And I can't use this to fake the bright red of the Polish Cochenille, which is a shame because I have a lot of South American Cochenille. You can see they're little granular. They are the dried bugs. But that's hard to show on camera. The tiny dried. It's the complete bug. So yeah, not only the shells, but these you boil in a bit water and extract the dye stuff from that. And I did that to see if my my very old Cochenille bugs were still giving a good dye, because it says on the lid 83, which is almost as old as I am, but they still work, and it got me this color of water. I'm going to put some wool in to see if it gives a good color and if it still works to dye the wool with. And this was the second dye bath I made from the same bugs, and for this I strained off the water and poured some new boiling water on top. And you can see that this is more the bluish tone from that second dye bath. So yeah, apparently I am doing it right. Always nice to know. Now the other well-known European red dye, plant dye, is this. In Dutch it is meekrap. Oh god, I looked up so many things about Cochenille and I forgot the word for this. Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up, so hold on. Haha, looked it up. It's madder, of course, which is a root of a plant, and it takes a couple of years to grow the plant before the root is big enough and contains enough dye stuff that you want to harvest it for dyeing wool. And this gives a really nice color as well. But it is a bit more on the orange side of red. And the thing I think I noticed, but I'm not sure if that's an original, an official thing, that the color of the the dye given by the madder root depends on where it was grown, and from what I've seen is that the hotter the climate where it's grown, the deeper the red it gives, and samples I've seen from madder grown in Scandinavia are much more of an orange than the ones from the Mediterranean regions. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with dyeing, and perhaps I can use a combination of both. Dye it first with the madder and then over dye it with a bit of the Cochenille, the South American Cochenille. And see if I can get the really brilliant red from that. The reason I don't really want to use synthetic dye stuff is because it doesn't always combine well with natural plant based dye stuff if you combine the two in one garment. Like here, I had these two pinks which work perfectly together because same dye stuff, first dye bath, second one, and I thought, ooh, I want a bit more pinks and make a big fluffy shawl with them. So I dyed up some more pink and thought to use them in one shawl, and it really looked horrible. It doesn't show as much on camera here, but the pinks, the synthetic pinks, were really horrible together with the natural pinks. So I don't want to run the risk of having that in the replicated dress, and I don't want to do a synthetic red next to the natural woad blue that we're dyeing for the dress. Now another thing I read to get a really bright red from South American Cochenille is to add a mixture of tin dissolved in zoutzuur, really strong acid. But this sounds really like a bad idea and not very environmentally friendly or dyer friendly, so I have to look that up and see how toxic it is before I start on that journey and see if I can get my hands on some of that acid. But yeah, that's the research I'm doing right now, and I hope to be able to show you the results, and I'm going to try to dye some of this madder over dye it with a bit of the Cochenille, and I'll do a video of the results of that. So I'll show you and hope to see you next time. Bye!